And joining us now here on the program, we're learning more about the Supplement Your Soybeans trial program from Advanced 6, and we're learning about it firsthand from an Iowa soybean farmer. Ryan Reimers is with us here today. Ryan, great to have you on the program. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it, Jesse. Glad to be on today. It's a beautiful winter day in mid Iowa.
Well, you can't argue with a beautiful winter day in Iowa in mid-February, and I know right around the corner is going to be spring planting season, and I'm sure you guys are really going to be gearing up for that here in the next couple of weeks ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, it's amazing how fast this time kind of creeps up on you. As soon as you get up through the first, you think you got a lot of time, and all of a sudden it's beginning of March, and you got to hit the ground running.
Definitely. Well, I know that a lot of hitting the ground running is obviously you're looking at what you're going to plant. You're looking at the best yields you can get possible, your return on investment. And let's talk a little bit about this Supplement Your Soybeans program from Advanced 6. And I think just to start, farmers, they're continuing to try and increase yields and performance on their soybeans, like I mentioned. What are some of the challenges that you see heading into 2023 when it comes to increasing those yields and performance?
Yeah, in our area in particular, and I know a majority of the Western Corn Belt, moisture is a huge thing right now. We're in a drought scenario, in particular in the area that we farm in West Central Iowa. We're anywhere from an extreme to severe drought if you look on the drought map. So moisture is definitely going to be a big problem as we run into the spring. Now, fortunately, here in the winter, we've had already some decent rain events and snow melts. So hopefully that continues to add to the deficit that we already have. But we'll definitely be fighting that as we go and as we look into the spring. And then on top of that too, because of lack of moisture, we have quite a bit buildup of residue. So I know not only myself, but a lot of other growers too have been looking for ways to get rid of some crop residue, some really strong corn yields the last couple of years, and so that's also built up quite a bit of residue. We're trying to get some, even emergence on those soybeans as well. So just trying to be as consistent as possible on that.
Well, Ryan, I know that some farmers are turning to different inputs to help increase their production and yields. And one of those, ammonium sulfate, AMS, and that's all part of this program from Advanced 6. Can you just talk a little bit about, why AMS? Why is this an attractive product to use on soybeans when it comes to increasing performance?
Yeah, so I mean, sulfur in general is becoming more and more of a critical component of our nutrition plan. Um, in our soybeans in particular as well. We have the Emissions Reduction Act. We don't have as much of that deposition naturally. So we're looking at ways to push that yield, and one of those things is sulfur. In the case of AMS, it's an available form of sulfur, a sulfate form that the soybeans can readily take up after application. So that's an attractive thing. We also are doing it right in the spring, right before we're planting or right after planting. So trying to get that plant off to the best start as possible. And we're seeing some decent results. So hoping to continue to try it and work with that in the years to come to see if we can continue to push those soybean yields.
Well, Ryan, talk about your experience with using AMS as part of the program there with Advanced 6, and maybe talk about some of those trial results you had last year. Can you just talk about that experience a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So we ended up putting on about 25 pounds of sulfur, about 115 pounds AMS, about a month before planting. And throughout the growing season, trying to look for things that really stick out to your eye in terms of plant health and such. And we did notice some more nodulation on our roots in those areas that were applied. Didn't see a lot of physiological difference, but when we got to yield, we did end up seeing on the areas that were applied about a bushel and a half response, positive response, which that was promising. Continuing in the years to come, we're trying to focus in on areas that might benefit more from this. And we've kind of noticed, even from this last year's trial, that some of our lower soil organic matter areas really showed a big response to that AMS application. So we'll probably be pushing for those areas even more in future years.
Well, and I would have to think as well, using a product like AMS, thinking about the cost of inputs, especially this year, just our main inputs as well, everything going up. you're trying to find your best return on investment for what you put in the ground, and also just obviously grow the best crop you can. So feels like a product like this going into this year, it could be pretty crucial, Ryan.
For sure. Inputs are extremely high, and we've had good crop prices. That hasn't been a secret by any means. But in these times, you want to make the take advantage of the things that are given to you. So we're just continuing to try find ways to push the envelope, continue to push up our yield, and in the same case, also increase ROI. So anything that we can do to do that, is worth trying.
Well, and I'm sure as well, I should ask with AMS, I would have to think the ease of use, the ease of application, it's got to be pretty simple to use on your fields, isn't it, Ryan?
Most definitely. Our retailer that we work with, it's a product that they readily have, so it was no problem in acquiring AMS. And in the same sense too, it's a very consistent product, easy to spread. So it was a very easy application to have done, especially at a time where everybody's gearing up and trying to do a lot of other things.
Well, I know folks can learn more online. Supplementyoursoybeans.advansix.com. Supplementyoursoybeans.advansix.com. Ryan, before we let you go, real quick, any other final thoughts you'd want to share with us just about your experience using AMS on your soybeans?
Yeah, I mean, I guess for anybody that's out there, always willing to try new things to push the envelope. I know more and more people are of that mindset, and I've my brother and I in particular using AMS have seen some good results. So going to continue to go down that or push that envelope and see what we can do.
Well, we appreciate the time. And again, learn more. Supplementyoursoybeans.advansix.com. With that, Ryan Reimers, Iowa soybean farmer, thanks for joining us here today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Jesse. Have a good one.